Hi guys, hello. Hi, how are you today? I hope that everything's fine for you. And I have just completed my sound check. Everything seems to be fine. Let me just put my phone down because I'm going to watch your messages using my phone. Just a way to control the live stream as usual. So guys, hi, how are you? I'm very glad to see each and every one of you. What's the weather like for you today? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? What's the weather like? Anyway, I'm very happy to see each and every one of you right here today with me, and we will be spending the next period of time together talking about tasks 1 to 9 from ФИПИ, which is listening. So today we're talking all about listening. Today we're talking all about how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, and all that stuff. But before we start doing that, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Daria. I'm a teacher at Учёба.ру, and I graduated from Sochi State University. I also passed my CAE, which is Advanced English exam, and I passed my TKT tests, which are teaching knowledge tests. I studied both in Russia and in the UK. And for those of you who have been following our channel for a while, or at least just one stream, you might know that I like taking pictures of nature. And I am a total coffee addict. So this is the staple of every stream. This is my liquid of life, which is coffee. So yeah, I really like coffee. That's my passion, I would say. Really like drinking it. Dark, black one, no sugar. I'm here for it. So yeah, guys, but as usual, I'm not alone right here. I am here with online school Учёба.ру, and let me tell you a bit about Russian. So мы здесь с вами собрались вместе с замечательной онлайн-школой подготовки к успешному поступлению Учёба.ру. 5000 учеников получили 80 плюс баллов на ЕГЭ и пятерку по ОГЭ. У нас есть своя собственная платформа. У нас есть разные программы для подготовки разных целей и уровень, а также мы даем гарантию поступления на бюджет в ВУЗ, если вы с нами занимаетесь по нескольким предметам и если вы при этом выполняете все домашки, все тесты и так далее. Okay, guys, anyway. Что еще? 50 опытных преподавателей и методистов. Все мы выпускники топ-вузов. Мы все прошли строгий отбор. Сам себя не похвалишь, никто не похвалит. Мы достаточно хорошо знаем свои предметы. Мы много раз сдавали ЕГЭ. Некоторые из нас проверяют ЕГЭ и ОГЭ. Мы знаем абсолютно все тонкости экзамена, что да, что нет, что засчитают, что не засчитают. Мы поможем полюбить свой предмет, потому что лично я влюбилась в английский давно и надолго, и пока не собираюсь его разлюбливать. Ну и мы стараемся найти подход к каждому ученику. So guys, without further ado, let's talk about listening. As you know, listening 1 is just about the gist, just about the general idea. So the way I structured my stream today is the following. I'm going to talk about listening 1, listening 2, and listening 3 to 9. The thing is not to mess things up. I structured it this way. So listening 1, and this one after the point right here, it's like the number of tasks that we're going to do. So listening 1.1 is just listening 1, just the first task that we're going to do. Okay, as you know, the first thing to do when you get your KIM is to look through the listening part, because this is what you are going to start with. This is what you will have to start with, because each and every single written part of the exam. I'm not talking about speaking part, right? I'm talking just about the written part. It starts with the listening, and each and every student who passes EGA or OGA for that matter in English, they will start with the listening first. And yeah, what's the strategy here? We've done the stream a while back on the strategies. You can also find a bunch of very, very useful videos on how to do, what not to do, where Dana tells you everything on how to do the task, what to do with the task, and so on. I'm going to be very brief today. It's not the point of our today's lesson to give you strategies one more time to bore you, but very, very brief. First and foremost, you start with the reading, right? You have to know what is that they are waiting from you, right? So let's read. Writing Valentine's has a very long history. Okay, nothing too serious. Probably the whole listening will be about the Valentine's Day. So yeah. Number 2, it's another time to spend money. I am assuming here will be also the Valentine's Day, but we'll see. Number 3, Valentines make a big business. Okay, yeah, that's also about Valentine's and the Valentine Day, the 14th of February, being a very, very big business. Okay, number 4, there is always something against the day. So yeah, not all the flowers and peaches. Something is always against the day. Number 5, it's a traditional Valentine's Day present and no one should spare money for it. So yeah, the one thing here that might be troublesome is to spare money for it, but we'll see. Number 6, its traditions tend to fade. So yeah, tend to fade also might be of some worry. To fade, right? To fade means to decline, to be forgotten, to become a bit duller than they are now. And number 7, even journalists need information about Valentine's Day. Okay guys, so what we have here, we have got here 7 statements and we have got 6 speakers. So in the exam, what we will have to do, we will have to match the speaker to the statement. And because there are 7 statements and because there are just 6 speakers, 1 speaker will be extra. And what you need to do here, you also need to write the sequence of numbers, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not the actual one, right? This is not it. But yeah, maybe. Okay, we are going to have a look at it, but before that we have looked through the task itself. Let me go back and get rid of my doodles, and we will try to listen to it. And please remember that all of your EGA tasks start with «Сейчас вы будете выполнять задания по аудированию». Каждая запись прозвучит 2 раза. Well, you should know by now that you should know by now that this is the time for you to add to the preparation time. So in total, instead of 30 seconds to look through the task, you have something like 90 seconds, which is like 1 minute more, and that's a long time, right? So what we have here, for the sake of this stream, I cut out the first part. So all of the audios here are going to start with "now we're ready to start." And also for the sake of the stream, despite the fact that in the real exam you will listen to each recording twice, right now you will hear to each recording just once. Okay, so I think that for us it will be enough to find out which one is which, and let us try to listen. I'm going to need to use my headphones right here just to understand if you can hear it. So I will start my listening 1 and I will try to listen in 1. Here it is. I hope it starts. I'm a bit, not that tech savvy as I would like to be probably. So I'll have to double check if you can hear it, if I can hear it, and so on. So I will be using my headphones first, and then I'll use my phone just to understand if you can hear it, okay? So let us start.
Вы услышите 6 высказываний.
I hope that you can hear it.
Установите соответствие между высказываниями каждого говорящего AF и утверждениями, данными в списке 1.7. Используйте каждое утверждение, обозначенное соответствующей цифрой, только один раз. В задании есть одно лишнее утверждение. Вы услышите запись дважды.
Now we are ready to start. Speaker A. Can you imagine it? The average American spends more than $100 on Valentine's Day, and men spend almost twice as much on Valentine's Day as women do. A survey I read shows that more than 1/3 of men would prefer not receiving a gift. At the same time, just less than 20% of women feel the same way. The reason for this is partly that the holiday seems just too expensive. Speaker B.
As far as I know, on Valentine's Day, no one saves money on flowers. No wonder. Flowers may cost up to 30% more that day. Some people even buy and send flowers to themselves on Valentine's Day. The most popular flower is still the rose, followed by lilies and violets. The colors of flowers are very important, as they speak about your feelings and emotions. But many people just don't pay attention to that and buy whatever they find nice and suitable.
Speaker C.
I was surprised to learn that Valentine cards have a very long history. Some scientists believe that the tradition was probably started by Charles, Duke of Orleans, because the oldest surviving Valentine dates back to him, to the year of 1415. It was a beautiful poem written by the Duke to his wife. However, some historians trace the roots of the holiday back to the Roman times and their pagan celebrations, or early medieval times.
Speaker D.
Do you know that 1 billion Valentine cards are sent each year worldwide, making it the second largest card-sending holiday of the year, behind Christmas? I've heard Hallmark, a big card producer, even employs research staff to analyze the sales pattern of previous Valentines. They analyze customer interviews and in-store observations to find out which cards have been a sellout this or that year, and which age group chooses which type of cards, and which is the best poem on the card, and so on.
Speaker E. BBC reports that India has spoken out against Valentine's Day, calling it an attack on local culture for commercial purposes. So I guess they do take it seriously, and there are people not in favor of this holiday. The Catholic Church, for instance, struck St. Valentine's Day from its official calendar in 1969. There even have been times when Valentine's Day was close to being forbidden. Speaker F.
The University of Maryland has a team of academic experts educating the media about Valentine's Day, no matter what angle they wish to cover. There, I've read that many people choose Valentine's Day for getting married. Can you imagine? The list of celebrities who've done this includes Elton John and Meg Ryan. And quite a lot of famous people have been born on that day.
You have 15 seconds to complete the task.
Okay. Well, I hope that you heard that. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Like this. Something like that. Or maybe something like something else. So guys, what we heard here, let us analyze. We have got number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as the statements. And let's have a look at it. So number 1, writing Valentine's has a very long history. The next one, it's another time to spend money. Number 2. Number 3 is Valentine's make a big business. Number 4 is there is always something against the day. Number 5, it's a traditional Valentine's Day present and no one should spare money for it. Number 6, its traditions tend to fade. And number 7, even journalists need information about Valentine's Day. Okay, let us have a look. So we have got in A, speaker A. Do you have any ideas who was in speaker A? Which statement did this person use? Any ideas? Amy at all? Yes? No? Maybe? By the way, I hope that you can hear me. Let me check that you can hear me. Oh. Yeah, you do hear me according to my phone, which once again I use as my help right now. So let us have a look at it. A is the key component is, can you imagine it? The average American spends more than $100 on Valentine's Day. So it's just another time to spend some money, right? So 2 is the first thing that we should write in our answer sheet. Okay, next one, B, speaker B. Speaker B said that day some people even buy and send flowers to themselves on Valentine's Day. So if it's such a thing that even people do buy and send it to themselves, then probably it's such a traditional present that no one should spare money for it. So that's number 5. Next one, C. C, the speaker C, the person who is speaker C says, I was surprised to learn that Valentine cards have a very long history. So Valentine cards have a very long history. If the cards have a long history, what do we have here? We have got writing, right? Writing Valentine's, because when you're sending a card, you're writing it. So that's number 1 right here. The next one, speaker D. Speaker D says, do you know that 1 billion Valentine cards are sent each year worldwide, making it the second largest card sending holiday of the year behind Christmas? So if it's the second largest, so what do you think is that? It's big business, right? We also have the Hallmark employing the whole bunch of people to make research for them and so on. So that is number 3 right here. Okay, next one, person E says, BBC reports that India has spoken out against Valentine's Day, calling it an attack on local culture for commercial purposes, right? Right, so let's have a look at it. So that is number 4, right? Something against that day. So that's number 4. And the last one, we've got the University of Maryland has a team of academic experts educating the media about Valentine's Day, no matter what angle they wish to cover. So this university has the whole team educating who or educating what? Educating the media, right? If they are educating the media are journalists, right? Right, guys, so it's number 7. So here it is. This is what you should write in your answer sheet with the number 1, if you have this text, of course. If you have some other text, please don't copy the answers. They might be wrong. What I mean by that is that you have to write the sequence of numbers with no commas, no spaces, nothing, just a sequence of numbers, right? And how many points do we get for that? We just get 2 points. Okay, so guys, thank you one more time for this, and we're moving on to listening 1.2, which is basically the same task. Listening task 1, just the second for us today. So it's still listening task 1, but task 1 which we are going to do for the second time. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. And what we are doing, let's read first, because the first thing that we do is we read, right? Okay, teaching abroad doesn't seem nice to some people. That's number 1. My relative is a role model for me in terms of working abroad. That's number 2. Some countries offer good career opportunities for beginning teachers. That's number 3. Relatives are happy when you decide not to teach abroad. That's number 4. Number 5 is I am going to spend my gap year teaching English abroad. Number 6 is teaching as a way to change your life. Number 7 is don't hesitate to write to the employer if you need the job, right? Okay, so there might be a bunch of words that we don't know, right? Let's have a look at them. I think number 1 is pretty clear. Teaching abroad doesn't seem nice to some people. Well, doesn't seem nice is the key word for me right here, so I'm going to underline it. And please guys, remember that you should, must, I don't know, can. Basically, you can write on your Kims. Kim is the paper task paper. Task paper. So it's basically the paper you have with your tasks for your EGA. It's called Kim. As far as I remember, it's in Russian контрольно-измерительные материалы, but I'm not too sure, so let's just stick to Kim. So one more time, you can and you should probably write in your Kim, or you can also do the doodle. I'm very bad at drawings, so I hope that my doodle of a flower helps serving as an example of what can be on your Kim. So you can use your Kim basically as your draft paper, so you can write there, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, number 2. My relative is a role model for me in terms of working abroad. Okay, role model is the person who we want to be similar to be alike in terms of when it comes to blah 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 something. Some countries offer good career opportunities for beginning teachers. Okay, so countries offer opportunities for beginning teachers. For me, the keyword here would be beginning teachers and some countries. Okay, next one, number 4. Relatives are happy when you decide not to teach abroad, right? Not to do something. Not here is a crucial word in my opinion. Next one, I'm going to spend my gap year teaching English abroad. In this way, gap year is something that might confuse you. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. So gap year is a period of year when you have already graduated from your school, but you haven't entered any university yet. So a lot of people in Europe, a lot of people in the US, they take this gap year just to find out what they really want and what their heart desires in terms of career, in terms of their future life. So this is just their opportunity, right, to think a bit more on their future profession. Okay, next one. Teaching is a way to change your life. Okay. Do not hesitate to write to your employer if you need a job. Hesitate is when you don't know whether you should do it, whether you should not do it. So yeah, I would say don't hesitate is the keyword, and employer. Employer is the person who employs you. So, for example, your boss is your employer. It means that you work for this person, or this company is his employer. So he works for that company, for example. Okay, we have pretty much talked about every single keyword here. Let's, I would also say a way to change life as a key phrase right here. Okay, let me have my fingers crossed that you can hear the next one. So let me mute my mic so it doesn't double and doesn't echo, but let me turn on listening one point of view so we can do it together.
Now we are ready to start. Speaker A. If you want to get new cultural and social experiences, the easiest, the fastest, and the safest way is to go to a foreign country to teach English. If you have a university degree, an international certificate in English, a couple $1,000s in about 3 months, you can start your life in an exotic location. I'm going to do this, and I know people who've done it, and I know what I'm talking about. You never know what to expect in a foreign country. That's true. But isn't it challenging at the same time? Speaker B.
I was thinking about spending my gap year teaching English abroad, but I had second thoughts about it. I was told that only experienced teachers can get a working visa, coverage for their cost of living, and a decent job. After reading some interviews on what it's like to teach English in immersion camps, I gave up on the idea completely. That's not what I'm ready to put up with. My parents are happy about that.
Speaker C.
English is my major, but the rivalry is so tense in the trade market now that I'm thinking of going somewhere for a couple of years to gain more experience and improve my teaching skills. Taiwan seems a perfect choice as everything is included for an inexperienced teacher. Visas, accommodation, and high salary. I'm worried about getting a social life there. I speak only English, and I wonder if I can find friends there apart from my future students.
Speaker D.
My uncle, David Dune, is a teacher, writer, and runner. He is an educator with over 17 years of experience of teaching English as second and as a foreign language. He has taught and presented in Korea, Canada, France, and Ukraine. He specializes in Web 2.0 and using technology in the classroom. That must be an exciting life, and the only thing I can think about is following in his footsteps. I hope he'll share some secrets of being a good English teacher abroad.
Speaker E. I don't remember how that magazine caught my sight, but recently I read an interview with Neil Mullen, who is a veteran English teacher in Japan. He started as a regular teacher, and now he owns a school there. He is looking for new language teachers, and I'm planning to send my CV. His email address was included in the interview. Not his personal address, of course. I just hope the email won't go to his spam folder and he'll choose me as his employee. Speaker F.
People in my college are crazy about the idea of going to teach English somewhere in Thailand, China, and whatnot. I listened to their heated discussions very attentively and understood its high risk. There are so many things to care about, like visas, security, medication, and cultural barriers. I'd better stay in the U.S. to serve my country. In my view, it's more patriotic. Besides, I'm not sure I can solve the problems connected with moving to another country.
You have 15 seconds to complete the task.
Okay, so back to us. Listening is done. Let me hear if you can hear me. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm going to check out if you can hear me or if you can hear the recording throughout this listening marathon quite often. So yeah, let's have a look at everything that we have here. As promised, we only listened to the text once, but I think that might be enough. But of course, at the actual exam where you are going to listen to each recording for 2 times. You don't even need to ask the person who's going to supervise you during the exam. The only thing that you need to do is just to wait for 15 seconds and the recording will restart from the beginning. So you will have the perfect opportunity to catch up, to to fill in those gaps that you have purposefully left. So yeah, this is what it is going to be. Okay, meanwhile, let us have a look at what we have right here. So, speaker A tells us about teaching as changing your life. So as the way of changing life. So he or she, I don't remember who that person is, they say, what did they say? They say the following. Yeah. If you want to get new cultural and social experience, the easiest, the fastest, and the safest way is to go to a foreign country to teach English. So, yeah, speaker A is 6. Speaker B, let's have a look at what speaker B is talking about. Speaker B is talking about number 4, which is when this person has not decided yet what to do. And their relatives were very, very happy that this person decided not to. So that's number 4. What they say is, after some interviews on what it's like to teach English in immersion camps, I gave up on the idea completely. That's not what I'm ready to put up with, and my parents are happy about it. So parents are relatives, and they are happy that this person decided not to do something, right? Okay, cool, thank you. The next one is speaker C, who thinks, let me read it for you. Speaker C is Taiwan seems a perfect choice as everything is included for an inexperienced teacher, visas, accommodation, and high salary. So this is what this person says. It means that some countries such as Taiwan are very, very nice in terms of providing good opportunities for beginning teachers. Here in the text we have inexperienced, which means the beginner, right? This person doesn't have enough experience, so this person is inexperienced, right? Okay, next one, speaker D. Speaker D says that my uncle David Yoon is a teacher. Then this person says he has taught and presented in blah 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 countries. And then he says that the only thing I can think about is following in his footsteps. So if this person says that they want to follow in the footsteps, it means that they have got a role model. And this role model is their relative, because this person says that this is her, I think, her uncle, right? Okay, very, very nice. Number 2. Next one, speaker E. Speaker E. Let's have a look at it. We have got here the following. He's looking for new language teachers, and I'm planning to send my CV. CV is the resume, so the file where you have every single one of your achievements. So basically like a curriculum vitae, your data, your resume, whichever you want to call it. Maybe your profile. Well, in some way it is your profile. And the next one is his email address was included in the interview, not his personal address, of course. I just hope that the mail won't go to his spam folder and he'll choose me as his employee. So this person is going to write an email, just like you guys, task 37, say hi. So this person is going to write an email to his potential employer, right? And that is 7. And the last one, what we have here, the last one says it's high risk. There are so many things to care about, like visas, security, medication, and cultural barriers. I'd better stay in the US to serve my country. So this person really thinks that this is not a nice idea, this is not a good idea to teach abroad, right? So that's number 1. And this is what you should have in your answer sheet as a final result of you doing listening task 1. Okay guys, do you have any questions? Any at all? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, I guess there are no questions and we are moving on. So listening to, and we've got listening to number 2. Basically, listening to here. Just a quick reminder, this is a true, false, and non-stated situation. If the statement is true, you should put 1. If the statement is false, you should put 2. And the statement is not stated, it means that you cannot say if the statement is true or not based on the text that you have heard. Then you should write down number 3. Okay? And if you hear a very strange noise, I think that there is a plane coming. But as you know, airport is near, police station is near, fire brigade is near, and the stadium is near. So we are having a combo. Okay, so what we have here, let's read. Tom and Alice used to go to the same school a few years ago. Number 2, Tom has no homework at school. Alice thinks the Arabic language is rather fashionable. Tom's been studying French at his father's request. Alice is wondering what leisure, as you wish, activities Tom has. Tom is planning to start writing poetry, and Tom takes a train to visit his parents on holidays. Okay, so let's have a look at the tasks one more time while I am trying to start the actual listening.
Задание 2. Вы услышите диалог. Определите, какие из приведенных утверждений A, G соответствуют содержанию текста. 1. True. Какие не соответствуют. 2. False. И о чем в тексте не сказано. То есть на основании текста нельзя дать ни положительного, ни отрицательного ответа. 3. Not stated. Занесите номер выбранного вами варианта ответа в таблицу. Вы услышите запись дважды. У вас есть 20 секунд, чтобы ознакомиться с заданием.
Yeah, guys, this is the part where we add to our reading time of the task.
Now we are ready to start.
Hey, Tom. Long time no see. How are you?
Alice, what a pleasant surprise. I'm doing great. What about yourself?
I'm well, too. What have you been doing all this time?
Well, I've been studying at a boarding school in Oxford.
Wow. It's not the famous one for boys, is it?
Yes, that's the one.
How do you like it? How is it different from our old school?
I like it okay. The studies are very rigorous. We have 5 classes a day before lunch and 4 after we eat. Of course, one of the classes each day is a sport, but it's still a rather hard day.
Sounds intense if you ask me. Do they give you homework too?
Well, some. We usually have reading for our lit classes and homework in foreign languages, some vocabulary learning and grammar exercises.
How many foreign languages are you studying?
2 modern languages and Latin. You have a choice of foreign languages: French, Spanish, Arabic, and Chinese. Latin is compulsory.
Which ones are you taking right now? I think I'd go for Arabic and Chinese, since those are really popular these days.
I am studying Chinese and French. You see, my dad has a business in France, so if I ever decide to follow in his steps, I'll definitely need French. And Arabic, as you say, is very popular nowadays.
With all that studying, do you ever have fun? Have you made any good friends?
Of course I have. I've got a small circle of close friends, 3 boys we hang out with. At weekends we have some free time to play games, go for walks, or into town.
That's good. What do you do when you go into town? I've been to Oxford, and there isn't much to do there, it seems.
Are you kidding? There's a nice cinema complex there and a shopping center. There are also some nice coffee shops and cheap restaurants. There is one coffee place that has a poetry contest every Saturday night where anyone can have stage time to recite their poetry. So we do that with friends.
Are you serious? You recite poetry for fun? You even write your own poetry? That's pretty amazing. You were always into books, so I guess this school is a good match for you.
It really is. I'm rather happy here. The only drawback is that I don't see my parents during the term. Only on holidays, and sometimes they come up to see me at weekends.
You have 15 seconds to complete the task.
Okay, that's me being technically not savvy. So let me hear if you can hear me. Yeah, I think that you can. Probably everything's fine. Okay, so we heard a dialogue. What else could we hear? And let's have a look at our statements. The first one, Tom and Alice used to go to the same school a few years ago. And actually that is true, because they say, how do you like it? How is it different from our old school? If the person has an old school and asks another person about an old school, it means that they have been to the same old school together, right? So yeah, that's probably it. And the next one is, Tom has no homework at school. That is false. Because they have so much home task. He says we've got some. We usually have reading for our lit classes and homework for in our foreign languages, so some vocabulary learning and some grammar exercises. By the way, guys, this is your reminder to do your home task in your English. Please do that. Okay, next one is, Alice thinks the Arabic language is rather fashionable, and that is true. That's absolutely true. She says, I think I'd go for Arabic and Chinese, since those are really popular these days. And popular and fashionable, they're synonymous, so yeah. Next one, D. Tom's been studying French at his father's request, and that is basically a false, because he says, I'm studying Chinese and French. You see, my dad has a business in France, so if I ever decide, if that's his decision, not his father's. So if you ever decide to follow in his steps, I'll definitely need French. So what it means that if Tom, ever decides he will need French, so having this train of thought, he decided to start learning French. Okay, next one. Alice is wondering what leisure activities Tom has. Yeah, she does. She absolutely does. So that's one. She says, with all that studying, do you ever have fun? So to have fun, leisure activities, they are pretty much synonymous. F. Tom is planning to start writing the poetry. That is actually false because he is already writing some poetry. What she's wondering, Alice is very surprised. She says, are you serious? You recite poetry for fun? You even write your own poetry? That's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's false. He already writes it, not is planning to write it. So be very, very careful here, guys, with your tenses, okay? Is planning and is already writing. Two different tenses, two different tense not, but two different meanings. Next one. Tom takes a train to visit his parents on holidays. We have no idea. So that is not stated. We don't know. To be honest, we have no idea. It means that we just don't know. Okay, next one. I hope that everything's clear, and in your answer sheet you should have written like something 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. So once again, I just remind you that this is listening number 2, and what you need to do here is just to write your sequence of numbers without any breaks and spaces and everything. Okay, let's do listening 2, and we will have a bit of a break before we start doing listening 3.9. Okay, listening 2.2 or 2 point, just listening to. Let's read it first. Lucy wasn't at school for several days. Lucy felt bad because of overeating. Lucy's mother is a doctor. Peter did exercises with the map of the UK. Peter is not afraid of the test. Peter offers his notes to Lucy, and Lucy and Peter are going to review for the test later. Okay, so my train of thought is here like this one. Wasn't is definitely a key. Not afraid. Peter did exercises. Offers his notes to Lucy, and they're going to review for the test later. So this is what I would be focusing on, and here also is overeating, and Lucy's mother is a doctor. So some key phrases are here that for me personally I would recommend doing and highlighting for yourself. But anyway, let me try to turn on listening to too, and I hope that you can hear it. And while my mic is off, you still have got some time before we start listening, the actual listening. Okay.
Now we are ready to start.
Hi, Lucy. You weren't at school today. What is the matter? I was worried about you.
Hi, Peter. It's nothing serious, actually. I just felt a bit sick in the morning, so my mom let me stay at home.
You poor thing. And are you feeling better now?
Yeah, much better, thank you. I guess it must have been the pizza that I ate yesterday. That was the reason for my bad stomach ache. I had too much. But now, yeah, I feel all right. I think I won't have to miss any more lessons this week.
But you haven't been to the doctor's office, have you? Won't you have problems at school because you missed classes? When I was ill last month, I brought a medical certificate to school.
Well, my mom called our class teacher, so I don't think there will be any problems. Besides, we don't have many lessons on Wednesdays. How was geography, by the way? Did you take a test?
Oh, no, we didn't. But we revised the material for the test. The teacher asked several people to do exercises with the map of the UK at the blackboard, and then we had a sort of contest in groups where we had to find different mountains, rivers, and lakes. The quicker the better. That was fun. And we also checked our homework and asked the teacher questions if we were not sure about the answers. You know, I feel well prepared for tomorrow's test now.
Wait a second. Are we going to take the test tomorrow? I can't believe it.
Yes, our teacher said that we are starting a new topic next week, so we have to finish this one tomorrow. Do you need any help with geography?
If you can lend me your exercise book with notes and checked homework, that would save me hours.
I am afraid I can't give you my exercise book right now because I have to revise the material for the test myself. But if you call me in 2 hours, we could probably study for the test together.
Sounds like a great idea, and thanks so much for offering to help. It's so nice to have a friend like you.
No problem. See you later then. Bye for now.
Bye, Peter.
You have 15 seconds to complete the task.
Okay, well, I hope that you can hear me, not the listening right now, and let me check that. Yeah, you can hear me. That's good. That's really nice. Okay, guys, did you have any chance to complete our task? So, as you know, listening to is all about true, false, not stated. So let's have a look at it. Lucy wasn't at school for several days. Actually, now she was only absent for 1 day, so that is false. Let's put a 2 here. Lucy felt bad because of overeating. Yes, that is true. She just had a bit too much of a pizza. Lucy's mother is a doctor. We don't know. There is no information in the text whatsoever if she is a doctor, if she is not a doctor. We don't know. So that is why we put number 3 here, which is not stated. Peter did exercises with the map of the UK. Well, I would say no. Here, he didn't do. He said some students. He didn't say I did. So some other students did it. Peter is not afraid of the test. Yes, that's true. He's not afraid of the test. He's done his revision. Everything's fine. Everything's correct. Peter offers his notes to Lucy. That is false, guys. He doesn't offer his notes to Lucy because he still wants to revise for his test. So that's false. Lucy and Peter are going to review for the test later. That is true. That is true. They are going to revise for the test a bit later, and they are going to do it in some hours. He says, as far as I remember, if you call me in 2 hours, we can revise for the test together. Okay, I hope that it's clear. Do you guys have any questions? No questions. Okay. And while you are probably writing any questions that you might have, I'm going to switch back to Russian and tell you to like and subscribe and so on. В общем, guys, подписывайтесь, ставьте лайк на наши YouTube-каналы. У нас не только замечательный YouTube-канал с английским, где я имею честь стримить. Также у нас есть прекрасная Дана, которая стримит, тоже для вас. И вы можете посмотреть кучу видюшек у нас. Супер-супер-супер полезно. И не только по английскому, по всему остальному тоже. И я сейчас немножечко пройдусь по платформе, потому как у нас, в принципе, вообще все происходит. Итак, у нас есть современная платформа для подготовки. Это все, что нужно для обучения в одном месте, в удобном формате. Если у вас есть телефон, наша платформа вам поможет. Если у вас есть что-то еще, наша платформа вам поможет. Так что вы можете подключиться практически с любого устройства, на котором есть и интернет. Что еще? Это интерактивные видеоуроки. Супер понятная теория, конспекты, все закрепления, все упражнения пройденного материала, все в одном месте. Практические семинары. Практические семинары – это очень крутая штука. Вы на них прямо с преподавателем можете пообщаться, посмотреть, задать вопросы нам в качестве преподавателей и вообще просто пообщаться вместе, порешать задачки, посмотреть какие-то сложные темы и поразобрать. Это супер живое общение, преподаватели всегда отвечают на ваши вопросы, если они у вас есть. Дальше это домашки с быстрой проверкой. То есть, что вы сделали? Вы посмотрели урок, правильно? Да, нам надо как-то посмотреть, поняли ли вы этот урок. Так вот, тут у нас есть подсказки, тут у нас есть решение, и вы сразу понимаете, что да, все верно, и микология это действительно наука о грибах. Так что, да, живи и учись, каждый день что-то новенькое узнаем. Ежемесячные пробники – это то, что мы каждый раз даем своим студентам. И пробники у нас 100% точно такие же, как на реальных экзаменах. Каждый месяц вы пишете пробник, и вот эта вот часть проверяется машинами, точно так же, как машинами, компьютером. Точно так же, как и на реальном экзамене. А там, где вы видите «проверяем», эту часть проверяют эксперты. И вы как раз-таки можете посмотреть, получить подробный комментарий от экспертов, посмотреть, что да, что нет, что засчитывают, что не засчитывают и так далее. Плюс вы смотрите свой прогресс. Что еще? У нас есть удобное расписание, список дел, всегда все понятно, всегда все ясно и так далее. Ну, например, вот у вас в понедельник у вас 45-минутный урок по правописанию гласных в корне слова. У вас есть виды химических связей, это домашка, и в пятницу у вас, например, корень и рациональное уравнение, тоже 45 минут урока. Что еще? Мы всегда на связи, да, и это правда, вы можете нам написать практически в любой момент, можно нам сразу писать по любым вопросам, по любым проблемам, связанным с нашими предметами. Ну, например, мне можно писать про английский язык, про все остальные я вам не отвечу, а вот про английский, да, вполне. Следующее. Если вы вдруг понимаете, что вы не хотите заходить на платформу, что вы делаете? Вы просто получаете уведомление в Телеграме, где вам говорят, а через 10 минут у вас вебинарчик, а через 15 минут вам еще нужно сделать домашечку. Вот, пожалуйста, ваш список дел сегодня. Ну и мы сейчас с вами проговорили про нашу прекрасную платформу. Let's go to listening task 3. So this is the last task that we're going to do today. У нас сегодня с вами это последнее задание ФИПИшное, которое мы с вами будем делать. Опять-таки, listening 3 till 9. So these are the separate, guys. They are separate. You have to look at them as one text, but at the same time as a separate text. So you have got 9 questions. At the real exam, you will have 50 seconds to have a look at them. If you have finished your previous tasks earlier and you didn't listen to for the second time, then you might have a bit more. But yeah, please use all your time properly. Okay, guys? So let me just read it real quick and we will move on. So, speaking about number 3. Speaking about his background, Nigel says that blah, blah, blah. Number 1, his family was related to aviation. He decided to become a pilot at an early age. It took him quite long to understand that he wanted to fly. I don't think that there are some issues here. I think everything is pretty clear. Number 4, at present, Nigel's main ambition is to work on 1, transatlantic flights, number 2, popular international flights, number 3, local flights. Number 5, when Nigel decided to get a pilot's license, he had to 1, change many jobs, 2, combine work and studies, 3, leave school to work. Okay, one more time, everything is pretty clear, nothing very difficult here, I believe. Number 6, Nigel explains that to get instrument rating means to demonstrate the ability to 1, operate any type of aircraft, 2, use different equipment on the ground, and 3, fly in any weather conditions. Okay. Number 7, Nigel can't get a job with a major airline because 1, these airlines have stopped hiring new pilots. Number 2, he doesn't have enough experience. Number 3, his pilot's license is not valid. Not valid, it means that it stopped being valid. It means that maybe it's expired, maybe something else. Okay, and here, as I can see, guys, you probably have a bit of a cutout. There are 2 L's here in this word, no worries. In my presentation, everything looks fine, but unfortunately, I don't know why. There is a bit of a cutout right here in this area. So still has 2 L's, don't worry. It's okay. So, in order to achieve his aim, Neil still needs to A. Gain more flying skills, B. Choose a suitable airline, 3. Pass a medical test. Gain is like to get, the synonym here. And number 9, before he gets enough experience, Nigel is ready to work. A1, in faraway places. 2, for a low salary, and 3, with many different people. Okay. Do you have any questions about any words that we have here? Maybe something unknown, maybe something that you don't understand? Well, you have got some time to look through, not 50 seconds, but while I'm trying to turn off the mic, turn on the recording, all the stuff. So yeah, please bear with me and use this time to look through the task. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them to me. Okay, right now I'm turning off my mic and turning the recording on. Hope it works. I have my fingers crossed.
Now we are ready to start.
Hello, everybody. I am really happy to greet our new listeners today as well as our faithful audience. We continue to speak about different jobs, and right now in our studio we have Nigel, a pilot in training. Hello, Nigel.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Thank you, Nigel. Well, first I'd like to find out how you came to be a pilot in training, and perhaps you can tell me something about what lies ahead for you.
Well, I grew up in a poor family in Manchester, and I left school early. I wasted years before I realized that flying was what I wanted to do. From that moment on, I've worked really hard toward the day when I'd be a pilot flying domestic routes here in the UK. When I achieve that, I'll be happy. I have no real ambition to make transatlantic flights and to fly any big-time international routes.
I guess that's an unusual background for a pilot. So, how did you get started?
First, I completed my high school education. While I was studying at school and at night, I also started learning to fly. I had to work 2 jobs as well just to afford it. But I wanted a commercial pilot's license, and I would have run through a brick wall to get there. I had to log 250 hours in all sorts of conditions, learn to do all the maneuvers, and then do the written test. I then had to do a flight test.
So, is that all you have to do to become a pilot?
Oh no, you also need an instrument rating for your aircraft type.
What is that exactly?
An instrument rating is about showing that you can fly by instruments alone, when the weather's really poor and you can't see a thing. To do this, you need to do ground training and then pass another flight test. I'm happy to say I just got my rating last week. And besides, you also need to pass a medical test to show that you're fit to fly. Fortunately, I've done that successfully too.
And what's left to do before you can follow your dreams, Nigel?
I still need to get experience. First, I've mainly flown single-engine aircraft while I've been learning, and I need to get some hours flying multi-engine planes. The days of getting hired just because you've got a license are long gone. You know, most successful pilot applicants at major airlines have thousands of hours of flight experience.
So, is it just time in the air that they want?
Oh no, there's more, much more. The 3 main factors are the type of aircraft you've flown, the amount and complexity of flying you've done, and which crew positions you've held. But regional or commuter airlines may not need as much. I'll work for peanuts if that's what it takes to get my first flying job. Of course, there's a lot of water to flow under the bridge before I get there. But I can say my training period has been really exciting. I've met lots of different people and learned so much.
Well, Nigel, With the determination you have, I've got no doubts you're going to make it as a pilot. And I bet you end up doing exactly what you planned.
Thanks. I hope so.
You have 15 seconds to complete the task.
Okay, well, I hope that you can hear me now. Let us check if you can. Yeah, I think that you can. That is really good that you can hear me. So guys, was the text difficult for you? Was the text easy for you? I don't know. Let's have a look at our answers right here. So what do we have? We have number one. Speaking about his background, Nigel says that his family was related to aviation. No, he didn't say that. Nothing of that kind was here. He decided to become a pilot at an early age. Well, it took him quite a long to understand that he wanted to fly. That is our answer. So number three here is the correct one. Okay, number four. At present, Nigel's main ambition is to work on transatlantic flights, which is not. He says that he doesn't have this ambition. Number two, popular international flights, also no. He says that he doesn't have this ambition either. And number three, local flights. So yeah, that's what he wants. Number three here is the correct answer. Okay, number five. When Nigel decided to get a pilot's license, he had to 1. Change many jobs, 2. Combine work and studies, and 3. Leave school to work. So number 1 and number 3 are not what we are looking for here, because he had to combine work and studies, because he had to study and to earn for his learning at the same time, because it costs a lot of money to get this pilot's license. Okay, number 6. Nigel explains that to get instrument rating means to demonstrate the ability to 1. Operate any type of aircraft, which is not. Number 2. Use different equipment on the ground, which is also not the correct answer here. And he says that it's the ability to fly in any weather conditions, which is here. Yep. And also it's when you operate solely based on the instruments that you have on your airplane. So you might not see a thing outside in the window, but you still know where you're flying and know what you're doing because you have this instrument rating. In number 7, Nigel can't get a job with a major airline because 1. These airlines have stopped hiring new pilots. No, that's not true. They still hire, but they have very, very high expectations. Number 2, he doesn't have enough experience. So that is what we have here. Number 2 is our correct answer. His pilot license is not valid. So actually now, to be not valid, it should be issued first, and he hasn't received it yet. He hasn't got it yet. He still has a lot of things to do. Next one. In order to achieve his aim, Nigel still needs to 1. Gain more flying skills, choose a suitable airline, and 3. Pass a medical test. He says that he has already passed his medical test. Choose a suitable airline, well, definitely, but the main reason here is he needs to gain more flying skills. So that's the correct answer here. And the last one, before he gets enough experience, Nigel is ready to work in the faraway places for low salary with many different people. He says, I'm ready to work for peanuts. To work for peanuts is an expression meaning that he can work for a really, really low salary. So for virtually absolutely no money, just to gain this experience that he wants to. So yeah, this is what he wants. Okay guys, do you have any questions? Do you have anything else that you would like to share? Comment? No? No. This was the last thing that we're going to do. We're unfortunately running out of time. So yeah, I have got just one thing for you. Мы призываем вас порвать эти экзамены, сдать на максимум, освободить внутреннего Халка и стереть все задания в пыль. Что у нас есть? У нас есть программы на выбор. У нас есть 8 занятий за месяц. У нас есть 2 пробных экзамена, которые помогут вам симулировать экзаменационную среду. Ну и у нас есть прекрасная летняя школа, которая готовит к ОГЭ и к ЕГЭ на чили, на расслабоне. Если вы еще в 10 классе, например, вы можете делать свои первые шаги к заветной соточке. Это базовый курс с нуля, это 2 месяца 16 занятий и, конечно, прекрасная скидка до 50%. Это то, что мы вам можем предложить сейчас. So, guys, а еще мы вам можем предложить экспертное сопровождение при поступлении в ВУЗ. Это когда мы вас за ручечку берем, вот так вот, и проводим по всем этапам от выбора вуза до зачисления. Это поддержка 24/7, это экспертиза от специалистов Учёба.ру, мы оценим ваши шансы поступления на бюджет, подготовим документы, промониторим конкурсные списки. И у нас есть 500 кейсов успешного поступления, что я лично считаю, что это очень-очень-очень круто. Ну что, guys, thank you so much for your time with me today. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for watching this stream. I wish you a very, very pleasant evening, and I will see you on Wednesday next week instead of the traditional Sunday. So yeah. We'll keep you posted and we'll keep you in the loop. But as for now, thank you so much for your attention. I was very, very happy to do the streaming for you today. And yeah, guys, see you on Wednesday. Bye!